This is supposed to be the week of giving. Well, we didn't expect them to give 135 points with 3 minutes and 42 seconds left to play. 51 in the second quarter. My goodness, the first one of the season like this, but it did not feel good sitting there watching it. Welcome to the PHLY Sixers post-game show in game right now. Live from the Xfinity studio with Rich. I'm Devon. Bree is here, the president of basketball operations. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. Man, was that ugly. This was presented by Bet365, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app using code PHLY365. We'll get to the player of the game. We do have one. We have a WTF moment that's probably going to take up the entire segment when we do discuss this thing. Jared McCain showing life and much, much more in this terrible, terrible basketball game on this Tuesday night. Rich, your initial thoughts? Let's get right to it. The main thing of what this one was tonight for the Sixers.
Man, that felt like last year, huh?
Did it ever? Look at that. Look at that.
Before we get into it, I'd like to just say to the sickest of the sickos that are in with us, can you please give us a thumbs up and thank you for joining us.
Thumbs up, everybody.
Can you
give it for us?
Give it for us because we got.
And you had to watch that.
So thank you all for joining us. Yeah, that was awful. Yeah, it reminded me of that Bulls game. Remember the Bulls absolutely blew them out in like March last year. Just nothing good happened. Of course, it happened in an NBA Cup game too. The Sixers they do nothing well in the NBA Cup. Yeah, I mean, what did the Magic have? 86 points at halftime. That was a franchise record for them. Devon, it's kind of weird. Like for the most part, their effort has been good so far this season. Like we've kind of marveled at. Wow, even when they lose, it's a clutch time game. It's within 5 points with 5 minutes left. The effort is good every single night. And I think we have remarked at times that, hey, this is probably not sustainable with the way that Tyrese Maxey is playing, the minute load that he's playing, and also they are running pretty good in those close games. They're not winning all of those close games, but they're playing better down the stretch of those games, and that's not something you could count on. So one thing about this recent stretch that I want to point out, though.
Yep.
Since Joel Embiid left the lineup, that's 7 games ago, the Sixers actually have, before this game, because it's not going to be the case after this game, they had an above-average defense. They ranked 14th in defensive rating. Watching that team tonight, I just thought to myself, how is that possible?
Yeah.
How is that possible? And you know what, man? Like Orlando they just overwhelmed them physically. Like that first half, it's a 26-point swing, 26-point deficit after the first half. Orlando had 58 shots. The Sixers had 38 shots. Like a 20-shot difference. And by the way, the free throws were negligible. Sixers only had a couple more free throws. If a coach looks down at a box score and sees that for an entire game, it's like, oh, well, of course we lost.
We saw that at the half. Was it the half?
That was at halftime.
That was at halftime, yeah.
That's how much they got physically overwhelmed.
Kyle Wright says, thank you for coming on early.
Kyle, of course, man. Like, look, we got to do that. So that was an unmitigated disaster. We're only going to talk about the game really for probably like the
10 minutes.
First segment and a half, but yeah, I mean, they got completely overwhelmed by a Magic team that they beat a few weeks ago. A Magic team that played well. Anthony Black on fire. Give them some credit, but got destroyed on the glass. Got destroyed at the point of attack with turnovers. Got destroyed in transition. Just like a physical beatdown by the Orlando Magic. And man, I think as much as we have been entertained by this team in the first 15 or so games and said, you know what, most nights they are giving us a fun 2 hours, an interesting 2 hours. Man, that really felt like the end of last year. It felt like we reverted to the mean because that was. I know they were down 4 starters, and we're gonna get to that. But woof, man, that's about as bad as an NBA team can get beat.
And this is again, we talked about this 9-7 coming into the game, 16 games in, and they've given you effort every single game throughout. And it's not saying that these guys quit. We talked about how this was going to be a heavy lift, number one, for Tyrese Maxey to continue to play at the level that he has, knowing that the Orlando Magic, seeing them for the second time this season, Orlando was going to throw something different, especially with only him out there on the floor. No VJ Edgecombe. I don't believe George or Embiid. Maybe Embiid played in that first game.
No, we didn't.
No, so it was just, it was everybody else. It was a collective right. You're absolutely right. So with that, no VJ Edgecombe, no Kelly Oubre.
Who were great in that game.
They were fantastic in that game. And this one, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to be physical. They wanted to show bodies at Tyrese Maxey. They wanted to run him and make him earn every minute that he was out there on the floor. Well, fortunately enough for him, he's going to have a season low 32 minutes of game play tonight, but it wasn't for the reason that we wanted. It was a reason of this one just simply got out of hand, and they had no way of getting back into this one. It was really, really ugly. And as Rich said at the top, this one had shades of making us think back, making me think back to, as he pointed it out, last season. That was there. At one point, I looked at Bree and Rich said, "Man, look at this lineup they have out right now. They have Jared McCain, who we exclude him a little bit, right? We exclude him because he wasn't even on the floor at the end of the season. But Jared McCain, Justin Edwards, Eric Gordon, I believe Dominic Barlow, Johni Broome, and Jabari Walker. That brought flashbacks of March of 2025, watching this basketball team get blown out by 25 points.
You're like, is that Jalen Hood-Schifino out there?
Right, exactly. That's how bad it was tonight. Now, look, this was the first one. We're talking game number 17 now on the season where we're having a post game like this. We haven't had one all season.
No, not
But for
really.
that one to be the first one, it was really bad. And it's on the heels of everything that Rich talked about, which we'll get into a little bit more later, with the other players not playing. And then we haven't even discussed Trendon Watford getting hurt tonight, Justin Edwards getting a little bit of a tweak, and he had to go into the locker room. The fact that they gave up 51 points, like Rich mentioned, they gave up 51 points. They had 17 points off the 8 turnovers the Sixers had in the second quarter. Are you serious? It was a layup drill. 70% from the floor in the second quarter, where Anthony Black drops 20, leading to his 31 career high on the night, where he was fantastic, but everything was so easy for the Magic. And it's really tough, though, Rich, to blame a lot on the players because of what the hand that they were dealt tonight, going against this Orlando Magic team that is now 10-8 and 9-7. They're not far apart, but they have more of a full roster than the Sixers do.
They have
with Paolo Banchero out, an all-star there. They've been playing good basketball. They just haven't been able to win these games. And you see what Suggs has been playing really well. Franz Wagner, of course, all-star level, like Rich talked about in the pregame. Anthony Black. He had 31 tonight and at 20. Look, the 20 surprised me in the second quarter. But if you paid attention to the Magic, he's been playing really well off the bench. Shooting the ball well. They've been telling him to shoot the ball. He's been getting double digits pretty much every night. He has been really, really good for this basketball team. But the effort, after a while, when they took that punch, man, we'll get to the rest of the fake punches. When they took the figurative punch by the Orlando Magic tonight, they just didn't have an answer. No. They could not block any of those body shots, the haymakers, or anything. And it weren't even a lot of haymakers, Rich. They just kept punching him in the gut, punching him in the gut, hit him in the face a few times, and then they delivered that knockout blow in that second quarter where it was just like, all right, that's enough.
It's like I love the Rocky movies. When you watch him fight Ivan Drago in Rocky IV, I always laugh at like what the CompuBox numbers would be in that because they're just trading headshots the entire night. And as somebody who likes boxing, if one of those punches lands, the fight's over. Like the first person who lands that or whatever. That was the Magic to the Sixers tonight. It was haymaker after haymaker, and the Sixers just could not handle it at all. So I guess let's get to what I said, because I do think...
Can we say this, though? The score is now final. 144-103 final score tonight. Sixers lose to the Magic, dropped to 9-8 on the season.
It's tough, too, because the Magic, they kept their guys in throughout the third quarter, and I think they were playing for NBA Cup point differential, too. You see this around the league. Teams play hard.
So now they're 3-0.
So it's the worst night to get a team.
Run it up.
And frankly, they didn't even try that hard because they took out Franz and Bane for the fourth quarter. Like their horses did not play in the fourth quarter.
But the soul was taken already.
Awful,
so even when you bring in the reserves, it was already gone.
So Tyrese Maxey, we mentioned him. First thing, because I think this needs to be said. Kyle said this, I believe, after the only other time they got blown out. Not like this, a much more understandable blowout against Cleveland a few weeks ago. It was absolutely insane that Tyrese Maxey was in the game as long as he was. He ends up playing, was it 32 minutes tonight? Like, I think he left with like just under 2 minutes in the third quarter. Nick Nurse, come on, man. Get Hunter Salas out there. You can't get Kyle Lowry out there because he's just here to coach and whatever, and that frustrates me. But, I think my pregame comments tonight ended up being pretty pertinent in that if you guys go back, watch the pregame, I am venting about how frustrated I am with how much the Sixers are putting on Tyrese Maxey's plate. It's patently unfair to him. Like, they have two guys at the top of the roster who never play, who make a combined $100 million. And then they basically have 6 spots. If you count Johni Broome, who played at the end of the game, did not play very well tonight. I think we kind of saw his limitations and why he's not playing. Then you have Eric Gordon, who did play a little bit tonight, and people were frustrated that he got in the game. He almost never plays. Kyle Lowry actually never plays. And then you have a 15th roster spot that Josh Harris doesn't want to use because he wants to make sure that he's able to duck the tax in a few months. It is patently unfair to Tyrese Maxey when this sport is as physical and as demanding as it has ever been, and you are lighting roster spots on fire. You are making Tyrese Maxey and the number 4 through 11 guys on your roster just play this physical, ragged style of basketball every single night. And you know what happens after a while? They let go of the rope because they're beat up, and a team like Orlando is deeper and fresher, and it's just infuriating. It's like Tyrese Maxey tonight was not very good by his standards. Like, the numbers, I think, were even a little deceiving. It's ridiculous that he has a little bit of a down game and they get their doors blown off. Like, what they are asking of him is unlike pretty much any other player in the NBA is being asked, and that's unfair to him. So Tyrese Maxey, he struggled tonight. It seemed like in that early second quarter when they let go of the lead, he missed a few layups. I don't care. I don't care. Like, this was bound to happen at some point, and that guy has been an MVP level player. And it's really frustrating to me just how little help he has gotten. And that's a guy who has been awesome the entire year and has basically backed up his preseason talk of, I am going to bring it every single night. I'm going to make sure we are playing hard every single night, and there is a standard, and he has met that standard. And I feel bad for him that because he is getting no help from either the top or bottom of the roster, they have a game like this because they are so undermanned. It's infuriating.
Really is. And we see a lot of people in there sharing your same sentiments, Rich, as they're starting to check in here on the post-game show. So for the people who are just checking in, we got started a little bit early, right around the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter because of how infuriating this game was. We decided to get started, so we welcome everyone in. We thank you for checking in after such a terrible loss. Sixers lose 144-103 to the Orlando Magic. First really bad loss for the season, with no Joel Embiid, Paul George, VJ Edgecombe, Kelly Oubre, Trendon Watford hurt in the first half. That did not look good because that was just somebody's running alongside of him. He immediately just threw the ball away, grabbed at the injury because he felt it immediately. That's not good. A team already beaten up, and you lose another key rotational piece because of that injury. So with all that, hearing Rich lay out everything that he's frustrated about, once again, we'll talk about it all when we get back. We have our player of the game that we have to get to. We also have a temperature check that we have to hand out as well. Unsung hero for this basketball game to hand out tonight as well. So a lot to talk about. Vent, everybody. Throw some questions at us if you want.
We need some content for the third segment, guys.
Because this one was really bad. This one was really, really bad, and we can see how frustrated many of you are with the Embiid-George part. We know it's not Edgecombe or Oubre. This is about Embiid and George in particular. Even with the 9-7 record coming into the season, coming into this game, as well as Tyrese Maxey has played 8 consecutive games now for Joel Embiid. Paul George has missed now this game after sitting for a few days. And you're wondering what's going on. Why are they not out there? Why are they not giving help? A lot of money on the books for these two players. You have a right to be frustrated with where things are tonight.
Just making Tyrese Maxey wear it every single night.
Sick of it. Every single night. All right, we take our first break. When we come back, we'll get to our temperature check. We'll get to more with so many other things because there's a ton to get to, including our WTF moment of the night. That's probably going to last a good portion of the second block. So everybody get ready. You might know what we're talking about. So we have to talk about it together. Get ready. WTF moment of the night on the other side, along with the temperature check. We are the PHLY Sixers postgame show presented by our good friends from, you know that place. Let me tell you about it on the other side. Did you go to Bet365 and bet that your team was going to lose by 30? You probably, look, I didn't put it as a loss because I was trying to have the good vibes. I said to the team here, Rich, Bree, I don't feel good about this one. Rightfully so, right? We all could. We all see it. I just didn't see a 30-point loss the way that they did. But maybe you went to Bet365 and you did feel like, hey, I'm going to bet on the Orlando Magic. And with that, if your team that you choose to win goes up by 20 points, you get an early payout winner because of that. That's how easy it is. At Bet365 is one of the 90 million users worldwide. You had an opportunity to make that wager earlier before the game got underway. If not, maybe you adjusted it with the live in-game betting that they pioneered at Bet365. You also had, okay, it's a Tuesday. You know what? I have a max $10 bet that is protected because, if I lose this one, I can get the money back. That's exactly what you got here at Bet365 with their Payoff Tuesdays, where they make sure that you're covered even in a bad loss like this one. So if you have not signed up and you're saying, Devon, what do you talk about? I want to get in on this. Well, here's how. Breaking news from Bet365. Download the app. Use code PHLY365. New customers get $150 in bonus bets. When you deposit $10, bet $5, you win $150, win or lose. Yes, it doesn't matter, win or lose. All you have to do is, again, download the app. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Deposit 10, place a bet for 5. You get that $150, and you're good to go. The $150 in bonus bets can be used on parlays, spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever you need right there at Bet365. Whatever the moment's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus, physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And guys, the other day, I was over at Kyle Neubeck's place. He was pumped to watch some hoops, but his setup, like the Sixers tonight, a total mess, lagging, buffering, and switching between apps trying to find the game. Kyle Neubeck, man, he claimed he was a big fan, but I felt like I was fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a basketball fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It is the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place. And the way that I watch, it's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right there in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear that it feels like I'm in the arena. And sometimes I've got 4 games going at once because why not? On top of that, I got real-time notifications and live stats right there on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every time. So next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
And we're back here on the PHLY Sixers post-game show. We welcome everybody in. Thank you for hanging out with us. We started this off a little bit earlier because we knew this one was out of hand. This one got out of hand pretty fast in the second quarter, and we knew that they were going to have a tough hill to climb to get back into this one. So we got underway early. We laid out our initial thoughts. The main thing, reminiscent of last year. That's how bad this one was for the Sixers in this loss, 144-103. Anthony Black with a game-high 31 points, 20 in the second quarter. He was 8 for 9 from the floor. They had a three-pointer from Anthony Black, Rich. You know what? Let's go to the Ace Hardware temperature check. How about we do that? Ace Hardware temperature check, where a team, a player is heating up or cooling off with the Ace Hardware temperature check. Things have been so good for the Sixers that we haven't had to do this all season long. Game number 17, we decide, you know what? Let's give it to the opposing player where Anthony Black is heating up. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. Rich, He came into the game after, in the first half, coming off the bench. He's rolling. Gets a three-pointer to drop. Sixers call timeout. After the timeout, Anthony Black is so good and so hot, and the Sixers are so bad defensively.
So bad.
They come right back and give him a wide-open three-pointer on the first possession that the Magic received after the Sixers call a timeout to devise their defensive game plan to try to slow him down. He was unbelievable tonight with the way that he played, and I'll run the second quarter once again. 8 for 9, 3 for 3 from behind the three-point line. Got to the line, knocked down that one. He did nothing else. He got a steal. Everybody got a steal tonight against the Sixers. He was, and I don't even look at plus minus all that much because I don't believe in it as many people do. He was a plus 25 in 10 minutes and 38 seconds in the second quarter, Rich. 20 points in 10 minutes and 38 seconds. He was unbelievable. And by the way, the Magic, again, 74% in the second, 62.5% from three. They were 5 for 8. They didn't really need the threes, but it was just like, all right, whatever, let's take some threes. 6 for 7 from the free throw line, 10 boards, 15 assists on those 20 makes, Orlando. And they forced 8 turnovers, scoring 17 off of those. Anthony Black, though, tremendous. That alley-oop that he finished was, I don't know how he did that. I knew he could get up. He's a point guard, but he's like 6'7", 6'8". He's a big guard, but I don't know how he did that. That said, man, his shooting has improved, and he had it going on tonight.
Yeah, and they played some, because the Sixers were small, they played some zone. They played some box and one in tonight's game, and as Bree is running the highlights, like, wow, what an alley-oop that was.
That's amazing. Body control.
And some of that is that Anthony Black is sort of the epitome of the fact that the Magic just overwhelmed the Sixers. But a lot of open shots against the zone and against the box and one. I mean, look, the Sixers were pretty helpless defensively. This was the play that drove everybody crazy because this was right after the timeout.
That's the timeout.
And I think they got in. Did they get in transition? I think it was Anthony Black, and he got Andre Drummond on a switch.
And by the way, when you get a big like that, you're like, okay, I'm going to go by him. He decided, I'm so hot, I'm good.
But Drummond played off of him.
Yes, because
he gave up an open corner three. And I look, would Anthony Black have probably dunked that ball if he went by Drummond because there was no help? Yeah, I mean, I didn't remember was Barlow on the floor at that time. Dude, the crazy thing was in the first quarter, I thought Dom Barlow had like 3 or 4 good contests at the rim. Like Franz was not scoring on him in transition, and they still gave up 86 points. So that was, look, the 86. Defense, whatever they tried, man, zone, whatever it was, all of it was a disaster tonight. They got absolutely smoked. Anthony Black is a guy who, he's a guy that, like, in the past, I was like, you leave him open, right?
Let him shoot that.
Part of the reason that the Magic struggle scoring offensively is, that guy is a great defensive player and he can get out in transition. He can do some things with the ball, but you're like, that's not a good offensive player. That's somebody we can help off of and sort of muck up their offense. Well, not tonight because he absolutely smoked them.
Yeah, he was really good. So Anthony Black tonight, he is our Ace Hardware temperature check, the player that is heating up, and he's having a really good season off the bench for the Orlando Magic. He has been really good. He is our Ace Hardware heating up player for our temperature check. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. Now what we have to do is get to the transition pretty quickly because this is how bad the game was going. We got to get to the WTF moment of the night. Yes. We haven't had a lot of these this season. It's a favorite. We bust out the WTF moment of the night when needed. Even Derek, who's at the game. So I'm sure all of you, we're all watching the game together, right, everybody? They're live in the arena. We get a text. Of course, we're all on the delay. Derek says, get ready for the WTF moment of the night. I thought he was talking about when Drummond had that turnover when he tried to throw the ball cross court.
Sure.
And it was real. It was telegraphed. He threw it right to the defender.
Was that was the worst pass of the night, and it beat like 5 Quentin Grimes passes.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And then we saw what transpired. Let's run the tape.
Andre Drummond versus Wendell Carter Jr.
Square up.
Bree, can you rewind that back to the beginning?
Square up.
The square up.
How many
Andre Drummond gives, as many people pointed out on social media, I don't think I've ever seen somebody Bree, right there. Like, can you stop it right there?
Jordan Clarkson.
Where he flexes his...
Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, that perfect, Bree. Yeah, when he sort of flexes his shoulders and puts his dukes up, somebody said that he looked like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish mascot. It looked like 1800s bare knuckle boxing, you know, when you see guys like trying to fight like that. And whenever you watch like a movie, like, you know, the movie that I'm thinking of is, you ever seen Gangs of New York before? Like whatever. There's a fight in the middle of that where two guys are boxing or whatever. And it's like 1800s boxing and they're it looks impractical the way they're trying to punch people or whatever. That is how Andre Drummond squared up to Wendell Carter. By the way, this was after the Sixers had gotten down, what, like 28, 30 type points or whatever?
You could tell they were already embarrassed by what was happening and the frustrations. And television did a really good job because they showed a previous possession where they had kind of bumped each other off running down the floor. And Drummond on this particular play was grabbing at Carter's jersey. He smacks his arm away. He grabs his jersey again. And then all of that stuff then happens and technicals and Jalen Suggs ejected, all kinds of stuff.
Pat Phoenix says he hit him with the why I order. Yeah, I mean, just a ridiculous moment. And some people, I did see some people in our Discord who were embarrassed by that. And I kind of understand that feeling because, you know, if you care about the game, they're getting their butts kicked. Like, why are you getting in a fight or whatever?
It's more show the fight on the floor playing.
But honestly, guys, I just needed something to laugh about. And it was so ridiculous. I'm not even saying Drum was in the right. So Jalen Suggs comes in and pushes him. And he is the one who ends up getting ejected from the game. And he's egging on the crowd after it's over.
And he gets ejected because he also gets into it with Jabari Walker, who came over and pushed him for pushing Drummond the way that he did.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was, look, we have not had many WTF moments of the night. It kind of reminds me of, do you remember the San Antonio game last year where Drum got thrown out? And it was like the ref did a bad job throwing him out. And he's walking to the... He's in the tunnel walking locker room, and he's putting his jersey on like over his head like a little kid coming back on the court. It kind of reminded me like that, where we got a little bit of a laugh in the middle of a game. That was actually a close game, but yeah, I mean, that was, you don't usually see guys square up on an NBA court. That is, by the way, that is the type of moment that Charles Barkley and Shaq, they would be laughing for 20 minutes at that, just saying, you guys aren't going to fight like that type of stuff.
I agree. So that's where I was going to go and ask you, why is he laughing now as he goes the other way? He gets Jalen Suggs ejected, and they're, like you said, they're already down 28 points. What are you laughing at that point? And look, we've given Drummond credit for especially with the way he's played the last 2.5, 3 weeks, where we're sitting there saying, man, this guy has been unbelievable. He has been fantastic, all that stuff. What is he laughing at, though? What are you laughing at?
He's a madman.
Because number one, if you were going to fight, no one was between the two of them.
No, you could have fought.
No one.
You could have fought.
You didn't have to square up. You could have smacked him. You could have punched him. You could have charged at him or whatever. But to your point, everybody's saying nobody's really going to fight. What was the point of laughing at that point in time? Yes, you're already embarrassed. You're already getting blown out. You only got one tech. You didn't even get tossed.
Look at him clapping.
He didn't even get tossed.
You're down by 30 points.
Right. So what is he laughing at?
I don't know. I'm not saying it was like his greatest moment.
It was funny.
It was funny.
It was funny. But again, if you were going to do something, that's why Wendell Carter was like, come on, man, you weren't going to do anything because you would have done it already. Come on, man.
Look, it was a ridiculous moment. It was funny. And like you said, Drum is in a smaller bucket compared to Tyrese Maxey, where Tyrese Maxey, you just like, you can't even get even a little bit mad at him or whatever. Yeah. Drum, I can't get mad. He's doing his best. Was his defense terrible tonight? Of course. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But has he played heavy minutes and played much better than he has a season ago? Also, yes. So, yeah. I think that's Theo in there and says if that was James Johnson, that would James.
Yeah, he's
James,
like was he like a black belt?
Black belt, yeah.
Or something. Is there something higher than a black belt? Right? Isn't he somewhere in there where you like jujitsu?
He might have been able to spin kick those dukes down. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, his hands are they're lethal. So you can't. James Johnson is well respected for that very reason. But listen, man, the score is out of hand. And as Romeo says, the score is funny. That's what was funny for what Andre Drummond was laughing at. But it was a funny moment. We got a kick out of it. But we were just like, what are you doing? And as it continued to play out, it just became even more funny at the time. And that's our WTF moment of the night. I did send Bree some of the Jordan Clarkson square-ups because he's notorious. He has his own compilation of square-ups that are like 2 minutes long of his square-ups because of what he does. He gets into, it's not Fighting Irish because he does it in a weird way like this. And as he gets ready to, you know.
Wow, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Great job, Bree, yeah.
Yeah, Jordan Clarkson.
That's a young Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, Jordan Clarkson. Gordon Dragic in Miami. There's Lakers. Watch how he squares up. Look. Look.
Love that.
That's like rookie second year Jordan Clarkson getting after it.
This is against the Sixers.
Ah, man. Hey, listen. You square up every time. Every time.
I actually remember this game. I'm such a sicko. This was in 2018 when the Sixers started to get pretty good.
Yeah.
Jordan Clarkson had just been traded.
Who did he throw the ball?
Threw the ball at Dario.
Dario.
Oh, yeah. That was right after Dario got sunburn after the trade deadline. So what's with the guys throwing the basketball at each other too, like the passive aggressive? Now that was actually aggressive. He threw that pretty hard.
Yeah.
You see the Sixers just like lob the ball at the guy as sort of I don't know.
Watch the square up. Look. Oh man. Unbelievable stuff tonight. So much so that we have to laugh at what happened in the square up with Andre Drummond. This is a real square up right here. Look.
Oh my God.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So immediately as you said that, has there ever been anybody? I knew Jordan Clarkson would be a winner. He's got a whole compilation. All right, let's get ready to take our second pause of the day. Who threw the ball at somebody? It was Drummond, right? Didn't Drummond?
Drummond did that a couple games ago, and Maxey was like, "Come on, man, you can't be getting a technical."
Yeah, but I thought there was somebody else tonight that threw the ball.
Somebody did. You know what? That game was
so much happening.
That game was so bad. I tried to just Men in Black it from my mind. Yeah, just zap it.
Tough stuff tonight, everybody, but we're here for you. Vent. We got some super chats. We see those. We'll get to those on the other side as well. We do have an unsung hero that we have to talk about, tell you about the player of the game. As we hang out with you, Sixers get their doors blown off, 144-103 tonight. And we have to talk about it. Was it Bataze? Yes.
Yeah,
Watford and Bataze, Gene.
Thank you, Gene.
We knew somebody threw the ball at someone, and that's what it was. Gene, thank you. We come back. We'll get to the rest of the game and our unsung hero, player of the game. We got to talk about some of these folks as we hang out with you, including, again, we said we would save it, a little more on the players being out tonight.
Sure.
Hurt the Sixers' chances. Sixers 0-3 in NBA Cup play, by the way.
They
Game
stink at the
4
NBA Cup.
against the Nets.
No more
on
of this.
Friday in Brooklyn. Maybe they get one. We'll be back right here on the PHLY Sixers postgame show.
And guys, everybody's got their favorite hard tea, but have you turned the can?
You need one tonight.
To read what's inside of it? You can't, because they don't tell you. And while they hide what's inside, Crooked Tea brags about it. Crooked Tea brews real USDA organic tea for real flavor with zero sugar. No fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see is what you drink. And next time you're at the store, flip the can, and if you can't find the ingredients, just put it back. Then grab a Crooked Tea with zero sugar, real tea, and a fully transparent product. You know it, Philly. Real recognizes real, so why drink the fake stuff? Crooked Tea, the only thing better is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. Visit crookedtea.com to find a store near you.
And we also have to talk about one of our other great partners here, Togo. We'll talk about them a little bit too, coming there out of the break. But with Togo, we saw the game against Dallas. We thought they would win that one, but we saw a really bad punt return play, receiving the ball, catching the ball, fielding it at the 1 yard line. You don't want that. You don't want Jalen Hurts back there returning those plays either. You don't want maybe Johni Broome on the floor. It's not worth the risk, the time, or the money. You keep your stars focused on doing what they do best, and that's out there getting their game going for their business and picking up W's. You don't want your top people buried in operations, a tedious, time-consuming, redundant activities that wear the team down, that's where the same goes for the business there at Togo, where they want to make sure you keep things right. Keep your impact players fresh so they can focus on putting points on the board. That's where Togo comes in, an integrated part of your team, taking the work off your starters' plates so they can focus on what really matters the most with the business moving forward. Every engagement starts with the free process, mapping and engineering, no cost, no commitment. They don't bill you a dime until the real work is done. And with the program starting as low as $1,000 a month, you're not going to break the bank. Each Togo program includes dedicated staff, custom automations, and US-based process engineers who act as your quarterback, giving you complete control, total transparency, and instant efficiency. At Togo, turning your playbook into performance, you call the plays. We execute your way, and we advise along the journey. Visit harnesstogo.com. Scale smarter, work faster, and stay focused on winning. Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers postgame show. Gene says Sixers got their doors and windows blown off tonight at the Xfinity Mobile
Shout
Arena.
out to Zoo.
Shout out to Zoo. So there's that. Now, let's get to our unsung hero of the night here, presented by our good friends. We just talked about them, Togo. Let's tell you about the unsung hero here tonight. Go with little Justin Edwards. Played all right tonight.
Justin Edwards?
Yeah, because we're going to talk about the player of the game in a little bit.
Yeah, he was okay. He was okay. Made a couple shots at the beginning of the game. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at his numbers, 5-7 for 13 points. I don't, he had like a couple nice dribble drives where he had good footwork in the paint to get off some shots, got fouled a few times. Sure, I'm with you. I mean, in the first quarter, they ran pretty good offense, man. They were putting 2 on the ball against Maxey. I felt like they were swinging the ball to the opposite side. They were getting Edwards some open looks and drives. They were getting Jared McCain some open looks and drives, and that just... The Magic turned the faucet off on that real quickly in the second quarter. Yeah, I mean, Sixers scored 35 in the first quarter tonight, and I was like, okay, they're getting some pretty good shots, turning it over too much.
And he had 9 points in the opening quarter. He was 3 for 3. He played 9 minutes and 12 seconds. Got to the free throw line, to your point, knocked down both of those free throws, had a rebound, 1 steal. He did have 2 turnovers, but it was the fact that he had the 9 points, get into the basket finishing. He knocked down that 1 3-pointer in that first quarter. And overall, he had a pretty good game. Came back after that injury where we were wondering, all right, Trendon Watford is banged up. He's not coming back. They already ruled him out. What's going on with Justin Edwards? He came back in. He didn't quit. He went out there. He made some more plays. And as Rich pointed out, he finished the night with 13 points in 22 minutes and 9 seconds. So in a night where there's really not a lot to pick from, and we'll get to the player of the game and talk a little bit more about him, wanted to give him some more time. This one tonight, though, when it comes to Justin Edwards, felt like he was worthy of a conversation where we look at him for an unsung hero for what he's done. Not defensively, because I don't think a lot of people played well defensively tonight, especially when you give up 144-51 in the second quarter. Not on him, not all on him, but he was part of it. He was out there for a little bit of that time. But an unsung hero for what he has done to dig himself out of the hole of being in a deep part of the rotation where he couldn't get on the floor, took advantage of the opportunity that was given to him. We know about the one game where he went off to help them win the basketball game. And since then, maybe, tough shooting night here or there, but he's back in the rotation. A lot of it is now because of injury, but he's back in the rotation and he's making the most of his minutes.
At his best, Justin Edwards is the fifth man who is playing okay defense. Again, he's not a very good one-on-one defender, but he gets some blocks and some steals, and he always plays hard. And the other thing is he's making shots and also attacking a few closeouts with quick moves. He goes 5 for 7, and he did that for the most part tonight. But you see, when you have a fifth man, he can play well. The other guys don't show up. It doesn't really matter.
He's the Jermaine Jones of this.
Totally. He played his role fine tonight.
Yeah,
I agree
absolutely.
with you.
Yeah, so with that, tonight, for Justin Edwards, he is our unsung hero, presented by Togo. Unsung hero, presented by Togo, the leader in operations, outsourcing. Let Togo handle the work that gets in the way of your work, and hold the reins. We pull the sled. It's Togo. Unsung hero, Justin Edwards. We'll get to the player of the game on the other side. Give him a little more time because he was pretty good. Starting to put together those wins of those reps on the floor there, Rich. He is. And he's starting to look pretty good coming off the bench for the Sixers. You all know who we're talking about. We'll get to him When we get back, your super chats as well. We'll say goodbye for the night, tell you where we'll be tomorrow from 9 a.m. until the Flyers at 4 o'clock. We'll discuss it all when we get back right here on the PHLY Sixers Postgame Show. And gang, I got to tell you, look, after a tough night like this one, we got to talk about Shopify because we've got a pretty great deal happening here at PHLY. And I'm telling you that for a reason, so you can get ready to go. And, you see this shirt I got on right here? Look at that. Representing the crew. So is Rich. Got the hat here as well. And you can get these, when you start your own business. You can get tagged in with Shopify. What kind of dreams did you have when you were a kid? Maybe you wanted to start your own business, right? You didn't know what you wanted to do when you were going to grow up. Well, how about now? Thinking about starting your own business? Well, Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. So if you're looking to start doing that and you want to put some of that product out there, Shopify is a great place for you to go. You know who else does it? Right here, PHLY. We have it at the merch store where we promote our shirt here, let you know, because if you go and you want to go and get this t-shirt or this hat or something else, use Shopify. You'll see when you check out in your shopping bag, Shopify is a big part of us here at the PHLY network. Shopify has you covered with the website creation, product descriptions, email and social media marketing as well, and much, much more. They also have AI tools designed to help you maximize sales. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into, cha-ching. With Shopify on your side, sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/allcity. That's shopify.com/allcity. Cha-ching.
And guys, we all know the feeling. You walk into a jewelry store trying to pick out something for your partner, and suddenly you are in over your head. You're thinking, what's the difference between all these diamonds? Or what if they don't like it? Yeah, it can be stressful, and that's why working with Joe and Michelle at Bucci's Jewelry and Design has been such a game changer. These guys make the whole process seamless. From the minute you walk in, they treat you like family. They actually listen, help you figure out what they'll love, and then the team designs something completely custom right there in-house. No pressure, no pushy sales vibe. Just good people who love what they do, and the end result, something you're proud to give and that they'll never forget. So next time you need that perfect piece, go see Joe and Michelle at Bucci's Jewelry and Design. 30 plus years in the game, voted Philly's #1 jeweler year after year. Over 1,000 5-star reviews. It speaks for itself. Check them out at BucciJewelers.com today and tell them the guys at PHLY sent you.
And we're back here. Final segment. Make sure you hit the like button, everybody. Hit the like button.
Do it for us.
Really appreciate it. We're hanging out with you tonight after that one. That was a brutal, brutal game. Sixers get blown out at home. Doors, windows, all of it blown out of the building as the Sixers fall 144-103. Super Chat's coming up. Player of the game first because he was pretty good off the bench. Jared McCain is our player of the game. 15 points, 2 for 5 from 3 with 3 assists. And most importantly, similar to what we talked about last time, you're just starting to see where he looks like Jared McCain again.
A couple really nice hesitation moves for baskets tonight. And that's why, we saw Jared McCain last year. The question coming into the league, and we were higher on him than Kyle and Derek were, we got to toot our own horn a little bit here, Devon, was that, can he actually do stuff with the ball in his hands, right? Is like, what does he look like against NBA perimeter defense? And there's a couple things, right? The threat of his shot is so great that he has gravity and teams have to play up on him. Starting to make a few more of those as well. Looks good. I still would love to see one relocation 3 at some point. That's when you're going to know Jared McCain. That's the guy that we saw last year, but he's using the threat of that shot and he's crafty, right? He's not all quickness and all speed, but he's crafty and he can get by guys. He got by Jalen Suggs with a move tonight and hit the scoop shot for a layup. So good to see Jared McCain. Again, he's just stacking. Pretty good game. Has not had the explosion that we saw at some point last year, like the game where he was like, I'm the rookie of the year. Still has not had that 25-point game yet. But if he keeps stacking these games up, I'll be confident it's coming. So look, if you're looking for a silver lining from this game, it's the same silver lining that we talked about on Sunday. I know a lot of people were watching the Eagles lose that game on Sunday after it was over. But our main silver lining from that game was if Jared McCain continues to look like this, that's a good sign. The Sixers might actually have a backup point guard. They have another on-ball creator, and it's just good to see him smiling and happy and playing well.
Yeah, making that first shot, and they're celebrating timeout Orlando. Everyone's happy to see him knock down that shot, and he just had that infectious smile that we know from Jared McCain. So it's good to see it, man, because as you pointed out, just continue to build those reps up. The muscle memory starts to come back. He gets into the painted area, and that turnaround jumper over even the taller defenders, he's got a really good touch on his shot. So even if he just gets it on the backboard or the back of the rim or even on the front of the rim, that rotation of the basketball is going to give him an opportunity for that shot to fall. So it's good to see.
Starting to get some more plays, too, where he's getting into the lane and using his body. As we know, he's pretty strong, creates a little bit of space, and as long as the guy isn't like some gigantic defender, he can actually shoot over players that are taller than him. And like you said, if he gets it on the rim, he has that natural shooting touch where the ball ends up going in the basket. So I've been impressed by him. I believe this is where he makes a three in transition. Thank you for that, Bree. Yeah, I mean, I believe this came after Barlow made one of the transition blocks I was talking about. He tips it to Maxey. Maxey hit ahead. They've had a few moments where they've had that synergy, the two of them. Now, look, when you play those two guys, Nick Nurse went to a zone for decent amounts. Wasn't a very good zone.
Yeah.
But it's hard to hide the two of them. They are two smaller guards, but they're good players, and it's good to see them playing pretty well. So Jared McCain is the one silver lining. Unfortunately, man, we talked all day about how much pressure not having Joel Embiid and not having Paul George and basically punting 4 spots on the back of your roster, how much pressure that puts on players 4 through 11 in your roster. You have VJ Edgecombe, who's already played a ton of minutes this year, some of that out of necessity, frankly. They are being careful with his calf injury. I think that is the right way to go about it. You have Kelly Oubre, who looks like he avoided the worst, but we're probably not going to see him Christmas, maybe, I think is, around there. They said reevaluated in 2 weeks, right? So that could mean really anything at this point.
Yeah.
Great grade 1 sprain, it seems like. And now tonight you have Trendon Watford dribbling the ball up the floor, and he goes down with a non-contact injury. I thought that could have been a lot worse because you didn't see initially what it was, but an abductor strain, we'll see how severe it is. That's a huge loss. I can't imagine we're going to be seeing Trendon Watford for a little while, which is a big deal because they don't have enough good players right now, man. The add injury to insult from tonight's game. Yeah.
And he knew it right away because we were like, why is he throwing the ball away just right to the Orlando Magic player? That's why, especially when you got that close-up shot of him facing that sideline and throwing the ball. That's going to be a while. Look, I play a doctor just because of my Rothman Orthopedics stuff. Shout out Rothman Orthopedics, of course. That's going to be a while. That's in the groin area. That's going to be a while. That's going to be a bit. All right, Jared McCain, our player of the game. We'll see if he has an opportunity against the Brooklyn Nets on Friday when they take on the Brooklyn Nets. Maybe he can, as he continues to stack up these wins, that's his bust-out game against the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn on Friday night. All right, folks, let's get to the Super Chats, and we got to talk about the second-round pick after we get to the Super Chats because that needs to be discussed here tonight. All right, Bree, you don't even have to enlarge it because I have my shades here tonight. All right, let's go to traveling.
Bree, don't enlarge it for him. He's talking a big game. She's making it real small.
Traveling, look at that. Traveling Journo. Can someone make a case for Broome? Oh, you led us right into it. He seems small, slow, and not skilled. What were they thinking? Seems like a wasted pick. Traveling Journal, you walked us right into this portion of the conversation because we said we had to get to the second-round pick, and this is the second-round pick. Look, not many of us on this staff here, PHLY side, Sixers side, were we excited about the Johni Broome pick. We said before the during the pre-draft process that really, really, really good player. His reputation precedes him. We already know what he did in college as a power forward, played some center there at Auburn. Caldwell was next to him in the front court also. Big guy. I think Caldwell, is he still with Sacramento? I don't know if he's with Sacramento. But that being said, we weren't the biggest Johni Broome fans as far as the Sixers second-round pick. We were looking at wings, and we were looking at bigs, but we were looking more at Kalkbrenner. Some of the other names, even what's the kid from Stanford, Rayno, paying attention to him a little bit. Rasheed Fleming, obviously, once he dropped to the second round, he was a guy that we had our eye on. But Johni Broome wasn't really one that we were all that excited about. And with these injuries taking place and the problems with a Dembona out, you're having to play Walker and Barlow at the 5, we were wondering, when are they going to put Johni Broome on the floor? He was a second-round pick. Ryan Kalkbrenner was obviously one of the main ones that we discussed was on day 2 of the NBA draft. I think we saw tonight, he looks behind. Now, look, he finished tonight.
But he shouldn't be behind.
1 for 7, what was he? 2 for 9 in 17 minutes. He got in the third quarter, so he got an extended run. They got an extended look at him. He seems behind. And to your point, he's an older,
more like, again, there's less upside to tap into because he's an older player. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of what we were talking about earlier, where I'm frustrated that the Sixers have sort of not, at a time when they knew Paul George and Joel Embiid were not going to play a lot of games, what they have done with the end of this roster. Now, the Eric Gordon thing, he was going to be on the team regardless. Now, I wouldn't have mind signing another player besides Eric Gordon, and just, figuring out the tax situation later. It's frustrating because you have Johni Broome is basically your 12th guy. Then you have Gordon might be your 12th guy. And then you have Johni Broome and Lowry and nobody as your 15th guy. And people have wondered, why not play Johni Broome? And we were not crazy about that pick. I don't want to kill him too much for this game because he's being thrown into just a ridiculous situation when they're down 30 points. But he did not look good. And we have questions on, what is his NBA skill set? I think it's going to have to be as a three-point shooter. Did not really make his jumpers tonight. He was pretty far off, really struggled inside the arc as well. So I'm frustrated with Daryl Morey and how they've handled the end of this roster. That said, when you look at the second round, the 4 picks ahead of Johni Broome, I think we liked all of these guys.
We did.
Rasheed Fleming, Penda,
who played tonight for the Orlando Magic,
Zion James, and then the big one was Kalkbrenner. We were like, can you get Kalkbrenner? And it just felt like after Kalkbrenner got taken, you can watch the live show. Go back to night 2 of the NBA draft. We're like, man, Kalkbrenner would have been a perfect developmental backup big. They didn't get him. And you look at the guys after Johni Broome, it's not a lot of great players. Kobe Sanders, who we saw for the Clippers the other night, he's starting for them. Pretty far down. Yeah. Will Richard has played pretty well for Golden State.
Yeah, Adductor right behind. That was one of Kyle's guys. Went to the Lakers. What's my guy's name that's with Detroit right now? Chaz Lanier was another player that we talked about as a possibility. But listen, man, the Kalkbrenner one really just took the rug right underneath us because when we first started talking about bigs as a second-round pick, we were like, not really because you don't want to get another big. But you're looking at it now, and man, do they need another big. A playable big. Because he would play over a Dembona most likely.
Yeah. The big thing that I think of with backup bigs, you got to be great at one thing, or you got to have, not great, but you got to have a skill set that is a plus in one regard. Andre Drummond, not the greatest defender, but a great rebounder and an offensive rebounder as well. Bona, who has been bad this year, you can see why he would be good, though, because he's a great shot blocker, right? He gets off the floor very quickly. Now, he's been bad, so it's not a guarantee that you're going to be good right away. Other players are three-point shooters, guys who can space the floor and open up your offense. Other guys are switch defenders like Paul Reed. I just don't know what that role is for Broome. I think he has to be a shooter because he's not going to dominate the game like he did at Auburn, where he's a low-post player. He's catching the ball in the mid-post. He's scoring one-on-one. I just don't think that's going to translate to the NBA game. Wasn't a great look for him tonight, but also
it's one game. It's the first one we saw.
I just think
but I did not like what I saw. Did not like it.
I just think tonight goes to show, why isn't he playing? And it's I think we kind of saw, why the coaching staff might be a little bit reticent to play him. Yeah. That's all. That's all. But who knows? Maybe he keeps playing better. I don't want to kill him too much for those minutes. Because
No. But he does look slow.
He does look slow.
Doesn't look like we know he does not the most athletic guy. He has to knock down those shots, though, because that's one three-pointer he took in the corner, wasn't that an air ball?
It did not hit a lot of rim.
Cleared the rim on the other side of the rim. But thank you for the super chat there. We appreciate it. Traveling Journo, and he says, that's my point. that there's not one thing but
fair enough. I agree with you, traveling
where
journal.
he has a career. Skunk Riley, the first one. Let's get to the second one. Bree, the best part of tonight was Drummond squaring up like Purnell Sweet Pea Whitaker. It was the best part. That's unfortunate that was the best part, but we got some good laughs out of that one. Appreciate it, Skunk.
Would have been funny if he did the Floyd Mayweather where he put his left arm up to, Great defensive fighter, Andre Drummond. No.
Oh, man. Skunk with the haiku cited. This one is titled, Good Night Nurse. Wow. What's up with Nick Nurse? I thought he could coach defense. What is he good at? Skunk Riley with the haiku of the night.
Skunk, he wasn't good at anything tonight.
No, he was not. And look, we gave him kind of a little bit of an out early on with the pregame show. We said, look, man, look at what he's working with. What's he going to do? But this team, they didn't have it tonight.
More efforts like tonight than I think we start to have that conversation.
Game 17, this is the first time we really said that they didn't have effort. Now, we criticized the third quarter, and we don't put a lot on him, some on him. This is the first time where you look at the head coach and say, what happened tonight?
No, tonight was bad all around, including the coaching as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm just a guy who I look at $100 million sitting on the bench, and yeah, you can change a coach if you want, but that's not going to change that. I'm not saying Nick Nurse is like painting a masterpiece every single night, but I just look at this roster and how limited it is, and it's just like, if you want to change a coach, that's fine. I will listen to that, but
it's not going to change much.
I think the major issues plaguing this team are still going to remain, and who knows? Maybe they do change the coach if there are more efforts like this. We haven't seen that so far, but yeah, I mean, if you get your doors blown off a few more times like this, then that conversation is naturally going to happen.
Yep.
So Skunky wasn't good at anything tonight. I think that's fair.
Yeah. I was just trying to see if he said anything noteworthy.
He said we had no transition defense tonight. Accurate appraisal.
Let me see how many transition points they gave up to fast break points. 25-15. So
felt like more.
Yeah, it did. And he explained it as well, too, where he felt like it was probably 55-15 tonight. All right, we got to let everybody know what's going on with us tomorrow. Number one, we are 2:30 start time tomorrow, not our normal 3 p.m. for a regular show. We have a 2:30 show tomorrow live from Reading Terminal, where it's PHLY Live starting at 9 a.m. with Anthony Gargano. 9 a.m. for Anthony Gargano. Let me look up the rest of the day and see where everything is, because I had it. There it is. Anthony Gargano, 9 a.m. The Phillies at 11:30. You got the Birds at 1, and then we follow there 2:30 Sixers. Flyers pregame down there at Reading Terminal with Anthony as well, joining the team there. At Reading Terminal for the Flyers pregame show, and then the Flyers will play the game later on that night. They'll have their postgame show as well, and we hope that everybody can make it. We hope that you can come and hang out with us, get your last-minute things that you need, maybe go and get the sweets over here and get some some other food that you need for the table, the bread over here, and then you slide on by. Come say hello to us over there at Reading Terminal as we hang out with you from 9 o'clock. Last show at 4 at Reading Terminal. It's going to be a blast. It's always a good time when we get down there. People come by, show up, shake hands, say hello, take some photos, get some food, get some really good food that's down there at Reading Terminal. Maybe I'll get something for Thursday as well. Put on the table, while we're down there.
Banana pudding, man.
I think that's everyone's favorite.
Sweet Nina's.
Sweet Nina's. I had to put my orders because we get there late. So I had to ask VG to go pick up.
Make sure he saves some for you.
Yeah. It's actually for my sister because she really likes it. So it's like, can you get a couple for my sister?
VG can do that for you.
He said he would. So a team player here. Team player. That's what we do here at PHLY. So we hope that you can hang out with us tomorrow for the PHLY Live from Reading Terminal beginning at 9 a.m. right here on the PHLY network. All right, we're going to hit a little overtime to say goodnight to everyone. Say goodbye. Thanks for hanging out with us on the television side. We will see you tomorrow at 2:30. Thank you so much. Hang out with us for the remainder of the show here at allphly.com. Rich, Brooklyn, Sixers Brooklyn Friday. We'll see how that one plays out.
See who plays. We'll see who shows up.
Man,
see who shows up.
Come on, man. Especially when your record is now 9-8, where you can't say, we got a little leeway. We can, little runway. They can sit tonight. You need some wins.
We'll make the play. We'll just wait until the second half of the season to get it going. We'll just keep it fresh for the playoffs with a team that can lose by 41 points on any given night.
All right. So everybody also, because of the YouTube doing what the YouTube thing does, that we don't know what all the handles are here on YouTube. So here's what
they're messed up right now.
Let's get to the world famous. It's time for the roll call. Say goodbye and good night to everybody hanging up with us. We appreciate you all hanging. I do have a list of names that I had written down before. I don't know that everyone was here tonight, but here's what I do know. I saw Gene. What up, Gene?
What up, Gene?
Saw Nona and Jess. Hey, ladies. Nona said she had to go. She jumped in here quickly to say hello. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, Nona. And hello, ladies. Thanks for checking in. X-Man is in the chat. What up, X? Good to see you. Terrence Knights. My mom is there as well.
Hey, Mom.
SB Cole in the building. Theo.
Theo's
we do
in
know
there.
Theo. We know Theo in there. Scroll some more, Bree. Let's see what we got here.
I think I can get
Mello, my man.
Mello's in there.
Saw Joe, Kyle Wright. Appreciated the start.
Scott's
early.
in there.
What up, Scott? Good to see you traveling. Journo. Thank you for the super chat, as well as our good friend from the haiku world. Skunk, hanging out with us. Who else do we have in it? Brandon in there. Romeo. We know Romeo, so that's easy. Win Forever. Got that one. Lost Sleep TV. Constantine. Who else did you see?
I saw Joaquin in there. He's got the Jim Lynam avatar.
Okay. What up, Joaquin? Good to see you. Davon, a.k.a. Schoolboy Beats. I know that one right there. I see Pat. I see Yams in the chat.
Even if he's being irrational.
Music
in
lover.
there.
Play that music. Matt Webster. Who else?
Pat's in there.
Pat's in there as well.
Nick's in there.
All right. What up, Nick? Good to see everybody in here. It's not our fault. We need YouTube to fix this. Philly Shad. Good to see you, my friend. Even though he says Embiid lives rent-free in y'all's head. Well, he needs to get out there on the floor and, need him to be healthy. But
we do a daily podcast about the
We have to talk about him.
Come on.
But we appreciate it. That you hang out with us. Everybody have a great rest of your night.
Thank you for joining us, by the way.
Be safe. If you're out there traveling with all the rain, be careful out there. Make sure you hit the like button. Like and subscribe to the show. Let us know how we did. We really appreciate it. We'll check in with Kyle and Derek tomorrow, 2:30 from Reading Terminal. Rich will be there. I'll be there. Bree, of course. All of you get to see Bree. Make sure you hit the like button for all of us tonight, though, because we had to do a show after that. We had to do a show talking about that, whatever that was.
Hopefully we have to do less of that.
Throw the tape away, Nick Nurse. Throw the tape away. Correct it on Friday against the Brooklyn Nets. Everybody, if we don't see you tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving. We'll say happy Thanksgiving tomorrow to everyone who's in the chat. But if you're not able to join us tomorrow and you are with us tonight, we are very thankful for you. We really appreciate it. And have a great, great Thanksgiving with your loved ones. And we appreciate you as always. Hit the like button, like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, and it'll sound like that when it's showtime. Tell everybody that you're with your family and friends, and whatever household you're in. Hey, you know about the Sixers? They had a terrible loss. Make sure you follow these guys, though, because they do a pretty damn good job when it comes to the Sixers pre- and post-game daily shows. Greatest producer with Bree. Make sure you tell them about us when you have the whole family and friends together. We'll see you tomorrow, 2:30, live from Reading Terminal, 2:30 start time. Don't miss us. See you then.
We all silly like the mayor.